Good gracious, where did the time go? I was just down here in time with a few extra minutes to spare, and I decided I would cut out a couple extra colors to mix and match on the cards that I'm about to make, and now it's late. So thank you for joining me. Welcome, welcome. And it is Monday night. I'm Lori LaRose. I Factory Stamping on Facebook here as well as on Instagram. And I'm going to do a one sheet wonder tonight because I think they're super fun. With Christmas just happening around the corner, people are looking to get some cards done. I think lots of times back in the day, so as I was looking for a couple templates online, I discovered that there's a couple really great people that I know that do them monthly. So that's kind of fun. So maybe I'll incorporate something like that into it for you guys and do them my way, but with their templates maybe even, who knows, from past. Let them have their current and I will do the past ones. But yeah, one sheet wonders, a lot of times, so we used to do a whole bunch of little dinky ones, and I know I didn't like them quite as much, but I think they kind of got a bad rap because we thought that we couldn't dress them up. And I kind of feel like, yeah, we should, but it is just a great way of using our DSP beautifully and making wonderful cards. So with that being said, I'm going to cut, well, I've already pre-cut the piece, but I'm going to show you how, and I will give you the dimensions and have you cut along. So go and grab a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I will throw you down and we'll go from there. I've got lots to talk to you about. There's all sorts of stuff coming up. There's sales going on with Stampin' Up! Right away here, and that's awfully exciting. There's also going to be not a celebration. There is no celebration this year, by the way, you guys. But starting in December, there is going to be a product of the month. Hi, Cheryl. And that in Canada, with a $100 order, you can purchase the product of the month with your order of $100 in Canada, and it's just $5. And I know the first month is going to be some beautiful DSP, so that's kind of fun. If you order that $100 through me, you will also get my Daily December that I keep talking to you about, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, Lori, and that's okay, because I will tell you about it as I get cut in here. I'm just going to throw myself up here so that I can see that, well, I am on here, so that's good. And come here. Okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use the traditional labels. One of the ones, my very favorite die that I love is actually, this is one of the dies that comes with this set. I have a suggested shopping kit, shopping list for you to purchase. All month in December, we will be doing a slow down and savor the season, have a more meaningful December, and it is free with your order of $100. So basically, it doesn't cost you anything, and you just get product in your pocket, and away we go with it. So, okay. I have to figure out how best to do this. Am I on screen here? No, I'm not. Good. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to do this backwards. You guys are going to be like, what are you doing? You just wait and see. Dun, 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 dun. I'm creating a backwards card. Keep everything straight. So we are going to take our 12 by 12 piece, and I'm going to show you. So go and run and grab a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And I'm going to hopefully, I don't know, I did this the other night, and I am not positive how I managed to do it so fabulously. How I made the cards, how I remembered, I'm not sure. But hopefully we can make it happen again. Okay. So this is your 12 by 12. Two of the cards from the other night. And are we ready for it? My beautiful. So this one you can actually make 2 cards or one, or just the one. I think that's it. Oh no, there's one more. Where the heck is that guy? Interesting. Where is that other little guy? Oh well, I'll have to talk you through it. Okay, are you ready, you guys? Hi, Keisha. Okay, so pretend this is a 12 by 12 all connected, okay? You're going to take, and this is your first cut. Really super simple. You're going to have your 12 by 12 piece of paper, and you're going to get a 12 by 12. Okay, 2 rules that you should have. One is that you like both sides of the paper working together. So I like a lot of our both sides, but sometimes they don't necessarily go with one another. In this case, they very much, I chose this because it very much complements. And not directional helps a lot as well. Simply said, for instance, this is a direction, and that probably doesn't look as good if you're building a card that this is being built on a piece that's not the right direction. Do you know what I mean? So non-directional is good. These 2 pieces would have gone okay together. But anyways, okay. Does that make sense? I think so. So I will show this one more time. Not one more time. I'll show it right now. I really was thinking of doing this again with a whole piece of paper, but I'm not going to. Okay, so 12 by 12 piece of paper, both sides, non-directional, and you like how they look together. This would make a great one of this. I could totally cut this up. Okay, so you're going to cut this at 4 inches, okay? So 1 cut at 4. Then you're going to cut it at 3. So 4 inches is gone, and then you're going to cut this at 3 inches, okay? And then you are going to cut it at 1 1/4. And then you're going to cut it at 1 3/4. So as you go along, you've cut it at 4, the 4's cut off. Then you push this along to the thing and you cut it at 3, and that one's gone. Now you have these lovely pieces here. You cut this at 1 1/4. Whoop. And then you have, this is not quite correct, but pretend you have 2 inches and you have 1 3/4. And you'll cut it at 1 3/4. That way then you have your largest piece still hanging out there, so it makes it nice. Your last piece is 2 inches falling off the end. Okay. And then you're going to bring in your 4-inch piece. Now I like the idea of cutting it once. If you want to make a lot of cards, you could make more. I am going to leave 1 full. So I'm going to cut this one. So now take your 4-inch piece, it's all connected, turn it around and cut it at 3 and 3. And this one will be basically 4 by 6. And for right now, you can just leave it at 4 by 6 till you decide exactly what you want to do with it. You might trim it down 1/4 of an inch, or you might trim it down 3/8 of an inch, depending on if you want to mat it, okay? So your 4-inch piece gets cut into 3 and 3, and leave the 4 by 6 at this very point, okay? Then you're going to take that 3-inch piece, turn it around, and cut it at 4 and at 4, and that will give you your 3 of those. You now have 5 of those. Yes, that is the truth. Then you're going to take your 1 1/4 piece, and you're going to turn it around, and you're going to cut it at 5 1/4 and at 5 1/4. And you will have a little tiny piece left over, 3/4 of an inch left over, basically, or 1/2 inch. One of the two, 1/2 inch, okay? And you're like, slow down. I will. So to repeat, you've taken your 12 by 12 piece of paper. Hi everybody, we're doing a 12 by 12. We are doing a 12 by 12 one sheet wonder. You're going to take your 12 by 12 piece of paper. You're going to cut it at 4 inches. You're going to slide it along. So here it is again. Pretend this is a whole piece. Cut it at 4, slide that one away, right? Because it's cut off. Then cut this at 3, and that one falls away. Cut it at 1 1/4, and that piece falls away. Cut it at 1 3/4, and then you're left with a 2" by 12 pieces. So these are all by 12, right? All strips. Then you're going to take your 4" piece, come back to the beginning again, grab your 4" piece from the bottom of that little pile that you had, and you're going to turn it around because it's all one piece. So this is 4" by 12, and you're going to cut it at 3, and then you cut it again at 3, and you'll be left with a 4 by 6 and 2 of these 3 by 4s. Okay. Grab your 3" strip, 3" by 12, turn it around, and cut it at 4, and again at 4, and the last piece then becomes 3 by 4. Okay. Take your little 1 1/4 piece. This is where I left you off. 1 1/4 by the 12 inches. Turn it around. Cut it at 5 1/4 and 5 1/4, and you'll have one little tiny piece left over. Bing. Okay, so you have nice 2 strips that are 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Now you're going to grab your 1 3/4 piece and do the same 2 cuts, 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. And then your last strip, you can do a couple different things with it. So let's just put it aside for right now, and you can decide best what you think you like to do with that in a few minutes. So yes, One Sheet Wonders are about making cards quickly and easily, kind of succinctly. They are perfect if you're going to make a package of cards and envelopes to gift to somebody right away here as a hostess, so they can send them away if you're doing Christmas ones. Otherwise, if you're doing them for a Christmas gift, but you're going to make them spring flowers sort of thing, then the cohesiveness of this is beautiful. You design them all the same, and when the people pull them out, the package is all similar. When you're making them just for yourself, it's to maximize the piece of paper, basically, right? Okay, so now I'm going to hope that I can figure out how to put these cards together. I'm teasing. Of course, I know exactly what I'm doing. All right, hang on one second. I'm going to see. I see some people are on here. Thank you. If you need me to repeat one more time, let me know. If you're ready to move on and you'll be like, no, we're not doing it even right now, Lori. We will do it. Thank you for the recording, and I'll give the measurements. We'll do it later, and we can rewind it and back and forth it, then that's good too. I'm just, sorry, Facebook and me are fighting right now. I am live, woohoo, and you guys are here. Welcome. Alexina, how are you? Ellie, how are you guys? Okay, so I know that you girls are major card makers, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do with this. One rule again, because some of you were not on right at the beginning, so sorry for the repetition for everybody else. Cardstock, 12 by 12, 4 quick cuts, 4, 3, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, and the 2" falls off. Or if you really want to think it, 4, 3, 2, 1 3/4, 1 1/4 falls off. Both sides, you're going to want to like both sides of it. So whether it's this beautiful Christmas Traditions paper or this gorgeous woodlands or pines, go for it. And I think one of these is actually not available right now. All right, on this piece, I chose to, so now I'm just going to pile up those guys. This big one I made on Friday night with you guys, so I'll just pull this guy back in here. I did choose to have it matted onto a piece of cherry cobbler because I thought it was pretty. This is real red and cherry cobbler, and also I'm mounting it onto a base of that beautiful bubble bath rather. And so I cut this down, I trimmed it down to probably, I trimmed it I just took a hair off of it. So I have very little of the pink showing. And then I've just got this down to about the 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I just trimmed off a little bit of the foreside. On the 6 inches, I have a little strip that's been tossed away because it was originally, it's 4 by 6 that you're trimming down to a 5 1/8, okay? And then I'm mounting that onto this piece okay, for a nice matted look. And now I'm bringing in some old. I have these beautiful painted poinsettias, which are super fun, and I kind of like them. This paper pack does have other poinsettias or other flowers as well that you could work with. There is a few different poinsettias in our world, so however you'd like to decorate this is up to you, depending on which paper you use. You can use critters. Of course, you know I'm always keen on coffee mugs. I do find that for me, the coffee mug is not quite dressy enough for this beautiful paper. I don't know why, because you know I love all things, and you can experiment and figure out for your paper what works best. I am finding that online, if you are using this paper, a lot of people are just using a sentiment, and that idea works fabulously with the simplicity that can be one sheet wonders. Like I said, though, you can dress up one sheet wonders. I have a couple new dies that I'm loving. This little wonky one from, I put it away and I don't remember what it's called, but it's a wonky one. And you are able to use that. And then this gorgeous little set is, again, the banner, the die banner from the traditional label. And the Sending Love and Joy is all one stamp set. I will stamp another one down the road here for that, but we'll throw that guy on there. And then I did, like I said, I did add just a little tiny bit of greenery and add that in to finish that card off. So your card doesn't have to be super simple. It goes together nicely because, but the other one that I made the other night was with one of these pieces and one of the fat pieces you pull in. The two. And so that one there, I'm going to create that sort of a dealio. So you're flipping them over. And I brought that in here and put it onto the old olive base. So layering. And you could do basically this layout with each of these. And you'll see that pretty well. That's what you're going to end up seeing. And I just decorated them a little bit differently. So again, the Sending Love and Joy. Throw in some gold. Throw in some greenery. And a bow. And just like that, 2 cards done. Okay, so those are the first 2 that I actually did on Friday night. Now, cross our fingers that I can get going with the other. I did add in different bases for everything. You can absolutely use the same bases for everything because of course the colors all would work together. And they would all look grand on that. And I can show that a little tiny bit right now. If I throw this, for instance, onto a green base, it looks beautiful, right? So if you want to have a nice little cohesive thing, you 100% can do all of these guys exactly, like very, very similar. Use all the same card bases and take a lot of the guesswork out. I just like playing around, you know that. So I'm going to go with this little pinky guy because he's really pretty. I did find that the pink didn't necessarily look fabulous straight out with the red straight on it, I think, if I remember correctly. But the green, everything looks good with green. All right, so I do have another green base. I did find that in this one, there is the Secret C. So I did cut a base of the Secret C, and I did it 4 1/8 by 3 1/8 because each of these is 4 by 3. And I just added that little tiny bit, not quite a quarter, a little bit more than an 1/8, okay? And I have this guy just based like that. So he's just going to be sitting there, beautiful. Don't be gluing yet. When I get finished, I'm betting anything that there's a skinny one in here. I'm going to add it in because I bet you anything there is. I think that just about all of these have 2. And I bet that that's in there. Do you like the way I'm so, I think so. All right. And then I used that wonky guy again, but this time in gold. The labels. And I think what I would do with this is probably cut it in half and spread it apart so that I have it more on the top and the bottom. And then this new embossing folder that I got anyways, you should get. And it is chock-a-block full of these. Now, if you watch me a lot, you know that I had one of these for an everyday occasions, and I was a little bit of a love-hate relationship. I love the idea of it, and sometimes it would make errors and it would get smudged and stuff. I couldn't find an error. I made 3 different times run through. My embossing folder was quite messy at times. I did it on white. I did it on this beautiful, what's this called? Soft sage. And they just continued to be lovely each time I went to do it. There was no mess on any single one of them. And literally, I hit the middle of there, like on the folder, there would have been ink there. And I was like, oh, I should clean that up. And then I was like, oh, I'm just curious. I'll just work with it. And I cut it and it was like, oh. So I feel like they did a slight design correction on this because they're just gorgeous. So any of these would work for this guy here. I'm going to use the Merry Christmas one. And if you have piles of stuff, then things kind of look like they're coming together easy. And then I just used a little ribbon on this guy and was like, that's it. Ta-da! Okay. Another card. Down. Then I brought in a red base. And again, this one could definitely go on to the regular one. This one I dressed up a little tiny bit more. I've got a few more little pieces off to the side here that I'll bring in. But so the opposite kind of. And again, on this one, nope, I am doing it this way still. I know I used the red once. Must be coming up. Look at me. Ah! Oh man, can't remember. Maybe this is the one. I feel like it is. Brought in the lovely poinsettia again. A couple of the branches. The branches are from the Joyous Noel, but I think that in this beautiful delicate pines, I think the dies would have, let's see what they have. I just got this one on the weekend and I haven't opened it up yet actually. So I have a brand new offer for you to savor the season and slow down a little bit and enjoy the Christmas season a little bit more. A few years I have done photo prompts and I've just really enjoyed working with you guys to slow down the season. All right, so you definitely could do some snowflake ideas with this. You could do some pine cones would be awesome. Some greenery. The pine needles, yeah, that'll work. I'm going to go cut this out and see what these pine needles look like. Hang on one second. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to do it in, I'm going to do it in the, what color am I trying to say here? Shaded spruce. Let's see what this needles look like. Let's see what these pine needles look like. I did these cards enough time ago that I'm like, oh, how am I putting all these pieces together? There is no wrong way of putting them together. If you decide to do it one way or other, you're probably never wrong. There's just maybe ways. I just would like to make it simple for you, if that makes sense. All right. So there is the little pine needles. I do really like this one. This was from, it had the big words Noel in them a couple years ago, and I am not one to get rid of the stuff. I love my stamps that I buy, and that's just a fact, Jack. All right. So I would pedantically take all of these guys out, but for right now. So the December daily, it's It's honestly, actually, if you have a sister-in-law or a cousin that you'd like, or your best friend who doesn't actually make cards, but you're like, oh, come on, Sam, let's do this. I think that this would be perfect for them. So let them touch base with me, because obviously they don't need $100 worth of my stuff. But I am thinking that we could also work with people who are interested in giving to charity, and they could sponsor some kits that I will give away either to the Ronald McDonald House, is always my favorite place. But I also was walking today and I thought, you know, nurses often need to have a little break as well. So they could buy like 3 kits from me, and I would give them away to even a thought of their choice, and then they can play with us and they don't have to have all the product. Okay, so there is some greenery. I'll take this guy out. Sure, oh, that's pretty. Right? You know what? This is just like in real life. If you don't compare, so in truth, I think this one's prettier, but the minute that I take that away, this becomes more pretty. And I bet you everybody's like, yeah, that's way prettier. What are you talking about, Lori? That's my belief. That's honestly what I do think. This is way prettier. I think the fun thing is that if I bring in one of these words on white with the darker green words, sorry, the ink, good tidings to you. Even though I've got the white background, it still works for it. So I kind of like that. And then I can bring in, oh, and that's exactly what I was going to do with this. Oh, I'm so smart. Merry and Bright I did. So I'll bring in my Merry and Bright, bring this down, have a little bit of greenery, I might put the greenery down here. I do like to have a little bit extra than just a single, but have my branches down here. And then oh, here it is right here. The gold. And a little gold bow from the old days. The little gems that I have are still current actually, and they're kind of fun. They have gold flecks in them. And then the clearer ones, and even the pinky ones, pick up that darker color. So it's kind of fun. So that'll be another one. I think that is the way that one is. So now we're at 4 cards. Moving right along. So you'll receive gentle prompts each day for you to slow down and look for ideas. And do simple activities with your family and stuff. Or remember back when, I always like to say, okay, I did this once before and I did it again. I cut actually 3 of these because from one piece of paper, like one section, it was really easy to cut the 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. And I matted 3 of them that way. I did think it was neat that it matted. It looked just as cute on the green and lovely on the green as it did, but it definitely, it allows it to be on the bubble bath rather. I always say bubble gum, don't I? And then I'm going to bring in one of these guys. And with this one, I think this is going to be a little bit simpler. So I'm going to take the bigger, fatter one. Oh, do you know what? On one of these, I actually do it the other way. I don't think it's on this one. Oh, let's see. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go with the skinny one on this for right now anyways. Okay. And then we have a bunch of different things going on with letters and stuff. So the Merry is from this set, the labels. And then the Christmas is from a words that we have. A words. That's very descriptive of me, isn't it? Hold on one second. Let me get that name for you. So fun. So these are the labels. and they're fabulous. They're a must-buy. I do like the words a lot, but if the words are like, meh, for true, this is cool and fun. The season's greetings also obviously goes on that one. So the other thing that I did, is a whole other little guy. And there's a colorful example of those guys. Nice, hey? And because they're photopolymer, you're actually also able to cut and whatnot. Now, where is that little sucker? Maybe I won't find it. I'll leave you in suspense. I really might be leaving you in suspense. Where the heck is those words? Oh, you know what? Sometimes I do start wondering if they are online exclusives. So this is the embossing folder. So that is $58 for that, but they are phenomenal. I love, love, love it. So it's an embossing folder, and you also can cut out the pieces. Okay, love it. 100% recommend. Oh, here it is. Wahoo! So words for the season. And again, the words are actually lovely as well. So that bundle is $68.25, and then otherwise just the words. So I've cut those out in Secret C, and that's how I got that little guy. And then I'm bringing in some red and some greenery. And again, this is the traditional label. Back up a little tiny bit, Lori. Woo. So now I cut all my pieces. You can do the same. And all I have to do is add a little bit of this and that to make these cards. So we make for sure 7 cards, because I've got one hidden one right now. I have no idea where it is. If we were on Friday night, you could have a little cocktail. At this point, I'm not sure where it is. I really honestly don't know where it is. It's a very simple little mat and the 4 things on it. So, all right, last card tonight anyways. And I've got this one cutting sideways. So I think what I did with this one, going with this mat again. I don't think I did do this because I don't like that. I think I did this. I actually think I did have this. I might have had this like this. What did I do? Okay. And that could totally go either way. I could have this guy flipped in that. So it's all up to you. Do you know what I mean? But if you want it firm, this is, I'm pretty sure I left this one plain, lots of pink around it. And then I brought in, now these 2 are from the traditional labels dies, and they layer, and I should stamp on there. And I'm laughing because I totally the other night cut my Merry and Bright apart because I wanted to be able to put them onto it. And so I need to have different words, but good tidings to you will work, right? And I will redo this so that it's in the blue to go with that blue. And then again, I had this up so that I could have these guys down here. And again, some gold. And I have some leaves. I should have one more leaf, but I don't, so that's okay. And this would also look good with a bow. So if you were a bow girl, let's face it, all of these could have a little bow on them. Easy schmeezy. The lighting is really weird. Sorry about that. So that is the 6th. And then the 7th one is from that last strip. And you're able to do a couple different things with it. The strip is the 1 3/4 or 2 inches long, whichever one you decide, if you like this fat or the skinnier. And you can cut them in squares, and you could do 3 diamonds on it. You do have enough room to do 4. I use the postage stamp. You can either do a postage stamp punch, if you have that, or else if you have the postage stamp, one of the smallest ones. And then you can just decorate from there with a big happy Christmas. I can't believe I don't have that. I'm looking like a hawk right now, and it's really not popping up at me. So I will post a picture of it so you have an idea of what to do with your last strip of paper, how to cut it. And you can either cut it out with dies, slim dies, or a punch, and you're going to work with 3 or 4 smaller pieces to make the 4th card, okay? And otherwise that is this. So all sorts of pieces of paper, or lots of, like 7 cards essentially, that easily made and lovingly made. One of the things that I had looked at with this little guy, for instance, I think it'd be fun. You could add in a little tiny bit of, bring in the blue a little tiny bit, and bring in some of the pool party. Also, see, so you can dress them up quite a lot. This definitely could have a bow, and it's pretty, right? So you're able to mix and match. All of these would look fine with a bow. I'm showing you that minimalist. So you do not have to have minimal. You then can come in and add a lot more of the gems all over, here and there and everywhere, and make things really, really pretty. Okay, so you need to have a 12 by 12 piece of paper that you like both sides, and then some bows, a little bit of accoutrement that you like. This one would also probably look pretty. I cut some out with a bubble bath, and I think that one, I could add that on. And if I had the, what do you call it? That's pretty too, right? I did actually personally think that I liked the dark accent, which is also why I then did the darker underneath there, right? All right, I would love to see what you guys end up doing with these, because I think they're really beautiful. If you are interested in me babbling about my daily December, and if you're with a friend and you're like, what were you talking about with that? Like I said, it's a month-long class. It's designed to help you slow down and notice more, to capture moments that make December magical. I described on Friday night that one time you read the prompt in the morning time and it said shadows. And I instantly, you could think of, you know, long nighttime shadows, afternoon shadows on the snowbanks. As you're walking, just every time you see a shadow, you kind of look at and think, oh, is that what I want to capture today? Is that what I want to capture? And it's a camera, so whatever, we don't develop with film anymore. Go ahead and capture shadows for the day. The one that stands out to me is the shadow that when I went to turn off the lights at nighttime and hadn't turned off the Christmas lights yet, the lights on the Christmas tree cast a shadow of the pine boughs on my, am I on screen as I point? Yes. Onto my floor. And it was so cool. And I don't know if I would have noticed it, except that that day I was paying attention to shadows. Lights is definitely one of a prompt. And so I am going to teach how to pull it together into a neat little book. But if you're not keen on doing the book part, you still will benefit greatly from doing the thing. So I can give you a shopping list, a suggested shopping list that would include that 8x6 binder that we have with the sleeves. But you also can just purchase anything that I use today, say for instance. Or if you're keen on it, purchase this bundle. There's a sale coming up rapidly. You could buy a 3-month paper pumpkin kit. FYI, your paper pumpkin, so paper pumpkin is having a sale, and it's a great deal to get. You can suspend them after the first month. So you are having to do the December paper pumpkin. It's a great one. Now I'm getting it, FYI, and I have suspended the last couple because there was a box last time and I didn't care for the box per se. I don't not like it. I just didn't want it. I didn't need it right this month. And so you are able to suspend. So if you buy a 3 or a 6 month, they can last for 3, obviously just for the 3 months, or they can last for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. And the 6 month can be like it lasts you all year if you do it every other month or 2 months in a row and then have a month off and then a month and then 2 months off, and whatever you want to do, you can suspend them after that initial month. Okay. But at least I'm really happy. The December one is absolutely worth getting. And then you get the other couple at a discounted price as well. So the 3 month would get you in the door. So by purchasing $100 worth of anything you want from me, you're on board free all month with this More Meaningful December. And I will help you build your memory book or just slow down so that you have your December feeling calmer and more meaningful. And I'd love you to join me because it really is, it's fun. And I think you would really love it. So, all right. And then I think if you grab a friend, that's what I'm saying, even a non-crafting friend, might be a way of introducing her into the game because she will definitely be amongst us crafters. And then she'll be like, I get why you like to do this. And all of a sudden then in the new year, you'll have a crafting buddy. All right. So there it is. The One Sheet Wonder. I will post the cuts of 4, 3, 2, 1 1/4 type of dealio. And I will post these pictures so that you have a easy way of knowing them. If you have questions, give me a shout. And otherwise, look at that. We made 6 cards in less than 40 minutes. Woo-hoo, us. All right. Of course, I did not have to cut the card bases, so we're set. Thanks, Alexina. They are pretty, hey? I think they're lovely. What do you think of these things? Like, is everybody as impressed as I am with them? I love them. Like, I stinking love them. I don't know my lighting is really weird. Sorry about that, you guys. It's really dark. Hopefully it's better for you guys. All right. I will talk with you later and have yourselves oh, and yes, FYI, your friend who you're like, she doesn't want to buy anything. No, get her to give to charity. We'll gift away her products, so it'll work. Have her touch base with me, and we'll figure something out. Let's go with that. All right, I will let you go. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will talk with you again tomorrow night. I was going to actually finish off these cards tomorrow night, but I don't need to, so I will figure out something new to show you tomorrow. Bye.